DNVR Draft Pod, presented by the good folks at Toyota. You know the deal. Your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. That's the deal. Henry, coming off. Wow, what a show.
Wow.
Healthy swinging it at Coors Field.
Yeah,
Who would
great
have
job.
thunk it? We were just talking some baseball with Jakester, and I was reminded, thank God you're not a baseball guy. It's the reason we have you in our lives.
Thank you.
Because people don't know, Jake got an offer to be a full-time baseball guy. But he was, like a true honest man that he is, he was like, not a baseball guy. He turned it down because his love of ball lies other places.
Well,
And now we have him.
what was the offer?
Okay.
Like
so-
the Rockies
Praise
need
the
a
Lord.
manager or
No,
what?
Praise the Lord.
No,
I'd take it, though, over what they've got. I'd let him
Black.
GM.
Not a fan of Bud
I'd let
Black.
him
Okay,
GM.
GM, sure.
Yeah.
no.
It's all just numbers. It's just
SIS,
math.
Sports Info Solutions, was formerly Baseball Info Solutions before
Dang.
they went Sports
Really?
Info Solutions.
BIS.
Yes.
I think that might be like a disorder of the stomach. BIS.
There's something like that. There's something like that.
Keep it going.
Yeah, and so I mean, football was only half the year, and so I wanted to stay out there, but then was like, well, I'd have to kind of become a baseball guy, and then, there was opportunities. Things also kind of didn't work out, and I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna do this.
Wow.
I'm leaving.
Amazing.
And then you were no longer a sissy.
And
What a gift.
no longer a
what,
sissy.
That's what I call the people from Sports Info Solutions. SIS.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh man, I thought you were
Yep. There's a good joke.
taking me down the devil's way. I'm not
we're
going that
going
way.
down the devil road.
Yeah. So how are you doing? How are things in Bronco
The
land?
allergies, damn.
No.
Yeah. Well, it's just between those last couple days, we have the home run derby. Hella fun. Posted
Right.
notes from last night at like 1:30, and then
Yeah.
these days the sun comes up at 5.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
so-
blast. Does it blast in your windows?
Yeah, it blasted in my windows.
I have a north-facing window, so
Dude.
yeah, I just
Oh,
live in
okay.
darkness.
That's. I love
wow.
that so much.
Yeah,
That
I wish
sounds
my
incredible.
windows face north.
I'm the one who I can't get like a good 7 hours in a row. I'll get like 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Wake up, have to do something, then go back.
Yeah.
Thumbnail.
In my 4 to 5 interruption, then I'll walk through my home and close all the like bathroom doors and doors to other rooms that are letting the sun in.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big wow.
Preseason All-American teams. We're in full off-season mode. We're grinding that tape, and we're thinking about the 2025 draft and the 2024 college football season. It's a glorious thing. We have some rivaling All-America teams for you, and I think it's going to be great. We were afraid that there's too many of our teams are going to be similar. I bet you none of our teams are all that similar, and that's why it's great. Now, it's different from our usual draft rankings because this is less projection. Well, it's still projecting, but it's more projecting how good will they be next season rather than
Yeah.
their whole career as professional football players, which obviously is what we're usually locked in on.
So true. It's not about being 6'8" and fast. It's about being good at football.
That's life, man.
Oh, it's football.
Right.
Well said.
Well, and
Right.
ball is life.
Well
so
said.
there we
Ball
go.
is
there
life.
we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I won't go down this
Fair
road.
enough.
How do we want to start this one? Backfield first?
They're all in one big one, by the way. Each person.
Oh, so it's gonna
Okay.
spoil them all.
It's by person.
I don't know, man. How do we do this?
We could go a person makes their case per segment.
That works.
Sure.
Sure.
You want to start us off, Henry?
I'll start.
Let's go.
Hot seat time?
The seat is gonna be hot. That's for sure. Yeah. So here we go. We're starting with the quarterback here.
Wow.
Shedeur Sanders. You gotta pick somebody to buy the hype on. I feel like this is a fun one to buy the hype on.
I actually think there's a lot more debate for this in the All-America teams than there is just talking Heisman or talking pure like NFL prospects. Because this class, you've got some really good like college quarterbacks.
Definitely. Oh yeah, all over the place.
Noah Fifita would be one that jumps
exactly.
out to.
I went with Shedeur just because I think that this is maybe a cynical look. His dad's the coach, and his dad wants him to get drafted high.
Sure.
This is a team that is built around Shedeur Sanders, which it probably should be anyway. But they're going to be
first or second best player. Yeah,
exactly. So you're going to be flinging the ball around a lot. Again, like if you want to, like you go down to Georgia with Carson Beck, and there's a bunch of good options, but I just think that this is a team that desperately needs the passing game to kind of like be great if they're going to be a really good team.
Yes.
Whereas
Correct.
if you're a Carson Beck, could it be a little bit of a JJ McCarthy situation? It's a possibility at the very least. So there's a bunch of different ways I go, and honestly, I was like torn between like 5 different guys. I was like, well, let's just go with Shedeur and make everybody happy.
Well, why don't you talk us through those 5 different guys?
Who else were you considering?
on the old
you
short
start with like
list.
the draft guys. So I mean, you got Carson Beck, you got Quinn Ewers is another one who I really considered. But yeah, like I'm not a big Quinn Ewers guy. Honestly,
No.
I'm not like a huge fan of a lot of these quarterbacks, and it's because we're a year out. They've got a whole season to kind of get. But like I like Jaden Daniels a lot. I like Caleb Williams a lot. I like. I guess those are the big ones. But
Michael Penix, you're a Penix guy.
Yeah. I'm not sure that these guys kind of rise to that level.
What about
as of
guys
now.
who maybe aren't prospects like Noah Fifita,
Cam Ward, or
Jalen
get
Milroe?
really weird.
Cam Ward's
Milroe's a good one too, because Milroe has like a nice blend of help and all that stuff. That was the other tough part.
I
wasn't
to quit
sure.
Cam Ward, man.
I wasn't sure.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, that's smart.
It's like when
It's chaos
people
ball.
were talking
It's chaos
themselves
ball.
into Joe Milton during the draft cycle. It's like
whoa.
I've been through this before. I'm not re-talking myself into
You're
Joe
not going to
Milton.
give him a chance in Miami?
No, I'm not.
Wow.
It'll be fun to watch though.
Yeah.
With Damian in the backfield?
Just be forewarned. Everyone's going to get real excited about Cam Ward in September. Real excited. He's going to look like a stud in September.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose all your money on Cam Ward on your October bets. That's the Cam Ward story.
Absolutely.
Jalen Milroe's an intriguing one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how the coaching change will help him or hurt him. I think that's one of the real interesting factors in this. Right? Because he's so different from Penix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Penix had like this arc. Like if you go back to Indiana, he was a much more of a dual threat like Jalen Milroe.
Cook King, yes.
Wow.
Yes, very good.
Wow.
And Milroe does some hype off the spring game.
Oh yeah.
Also, they've had some, like they lost arguably their best wide receiver, Isaiah Vaughn. They lost their star left tackle, right? So
I mean, that's just life at Bama.
is it? I don't know that they usually lose superstars in the. Usually they're signing those guys, right?
But I mean, like, there's just that cycle. Like you're gonna be winding up with guys leaving early, go to the draft, do all that sort of stuff. And I trust that they have backfilled. I think they've got good linemen there too.
Yes, they do.
They bring in. We'll get to
center.
him on my list. The center, Parker Brailsford, Alabama. That's
He was at Washington.
exactly
Part of the Joe
Paul's
Moore
the coach
Award-winning-
with. So I'm not gonna be worried about Bama's offensive line until there's a problem. That's just where I'm at this stage in my life.
I'm with you. And I mean, Shedeur, it came down to what we were talking on the Buffs pod. I'm going to assume you went Shedeur for the brand.
Yeah.
And because
of course.
you're locked in, you know ball.
Yeah.
I went Shedeur as well. The determining factor was he was this close to leading. He did lead the nation in passing yards last year. Or was just off.
No, he wasn't.
He fell end of the year. He lost
because
that
he got
lead.
hurt and missed 2 games,
Right.
but he was there like in October, midway to late October. He was in the
A
conversation.
guy who was like top 5 in the nation in passing yards with all the problems that CU offensive line, play caller, injuries, etc. Like faced last year, and he still was that good. The improvements you assumed this year, the continuity with the staff, the other players, the improvements, I just think it sets up to where he could really have a monster year.
Yep.
I mean, talking yesterday on the Buff Show, we did NFL player comps for a lot of these guys, Shedeur included.
Well, Mike Vick, little Tom Brady.
I said Joe Burrow.
Not a mix of Mike Vick and Tom Brady.
But, well, Tom Brady was, we remember, Joe Burrow was compared to Tom Brady a lot coming out. But I think Shedeur
That
could
was
have
a reference to the podcast.
Thanks, Henry.
Yeah.
I could see Shedeur having a Burrow type like senior season where he just completely blows up. Like his stats are just astronomically higher than they were last year.
Would you guys look up Heisman odds for me? Because as you know, in this state,
Oh yeah.
our politicians have let us down and we can't bet on that. While you do that, somewhere where you won't be let down in this glorious state of ours, in this glorious nation, it's a Raising Cane's nation.
So true.
Yeah, the canes have been raised, as have the steaks. And it's nothing but cooked to order, hand battered chicken fingers at Raising Cane's. It's delicious stuff. Justin Michael,
They
our
don't
dear-
have steak.
No.
No, okay.
No, they don't have steak.
Where there's that they just kind of raised them
Holy-
away.
Holy fuck, you guys. If you go to a Cane's and you order steak, I urge you to reach out personally to me. I'll converse with you. We'll set up a meeting so I can meet up with you and just smack you right in the face for ordering steak at Raising Cane's. What are we doing? No, here's the move. Their hand batter made to order, delicious chicken, then Texas toast comes with it and cane sauce. So what are you going to do? You pull the Justin Michael. Texas toast sando time. And then all that toast and breaded chicken might be a smidge dry for you.
Yeah.
Like that steak that thank God you couldn't get. You put that cane sauce on it. And you might be a slaw guy. Slaw guy?
I'm not a slaw guy.
Not a slaw guy. What's that pattern called?
Tie dye.
The tie-dye pattern on your t-shirt, a little slaw-esque.
It actually does
A
look
little
like
slaw-esque, yeah.
A little too much carrot probably,
He's
but pretty
bringing the
close.
slaw, right?
Yeah.
Right. For cooked-to-order hand-battered chicken fingers or a personal slap you in the face
But-
from Dr. Dre, Raising Cane's turbocharge your chicken fingers and get them even faster by ordering online at raisingcanes.com or through their mobile app. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
One love.
Yeah.
No steaks though.
No, but the stakes have been raised
They have.
so high.
STAKES.
That's right.
AK.
And the app got me out of the traffic log. Here we
Oh
go.
damn.
Oh,
And
no.
of course, you know
Yeah.
the deal. Bet365.
Yeah.
Bet365.
Oh,
Bet365. The only place where you can use our code DNVR365 at sign
Yeah.
up. $10 minimum deposit. $5 minimum bet. As soon as that bet is settled, win, lose, or draw, bang, $150 in bonus bets for you to play with. Future City here, over on regular season wins there. A little award sprinkle-a-roo there. Oh, Olympic bets? Yes, please. Oh, Euros and Copa? Dublin in. Oh, what's the weather like? This feels like a Yurfy day. Bang, 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 bang. Bet365, the only place you can find the DNVR custom bet. They're the true homies. They are the true homies. They'll take care of you. Protections going on left, right, and center. And then right now,
Let's
tonight,
pick up-
Stanley Cup Finals, Game 3, 50% SGP bonus. So that plus 210 SGP I gave out, plus 420.
Well,
a bang.
geez.
That's
Oh,
super
no.
Colorado
Beautiful.
right there.
Beautiful.
That's super Colorado. So if you're not on Bet365, I don't know what to tell you. I would love it for you to get in on these offers. I fear you're missing out. I really do. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, back to Henry's list.
There
we
we
got
go.
through one position. That was really
Yes,
good, you
well
guys.
done,
That was
guys.
really well done.
Good thing we're only doing the offense.
Shedeur Sanders, first team All-American quarterback. Shock the world with that one.
won't be
Running back
shocked.
time.
Ollie Gordon.
Kind of off air, you were telling me you were kind of being an Ollie Gordon hater.
Oh no, Drew.
I'm not.
Exposed him.
Are you all in on Ollie Gordon?
I think he's pretty sick. Yeah.
Yeah. He led the country in rushing yards last year.
Exactly. Like, there is really nothing that you can argue about.
Right.
But when you turn on the highlights, I just thought there would be. It's not like you're watching Saquon. It's not like you're watching Reggie Bush. It's not like you're watching Derek. You know, like I just kind of thought there'd be more pop, but no, it's just consistency and 1,700 yards.
What you're watching is the engine of their entire offense.
Totally. No, I mean, and I think that this. I think it'd be crazy not to have Ollie Gordon. I mean, he was an All-American last year. He was the leading rusher in the country last year. There's no reason to think he's not going to do it again. It's an open and shut case. But as Dre said, I just kind of thought there'd be a little bit more spice to it.
Now, a little
not super
reminiscent
spicy.
of a Derrick Henry in some ways, like running style and that big frame. But it's true. I, too, like when I watch that straight line speed in the open field, sometimes Ollie Gordon leaves me wanting for more.
Yeah.
His pro projections will be interesting. His production, unarguable.
Oh,
And then a really good vision power. He's always churning out positive yards. So,
guy can churn.
What up, Trav Lee, our guy.
Hello, as I said.
And Quinshawn. Quinshawn, far different. He might be all
he's
pop.
explosive.
He's a pretty crazy guy.
And we should point out Ohio State, not not the Ohio.
Oh,
Bearcats.
so-
yeah.
I mean, if we have an Ohio Bobcat in the All-American conversation,
that'd be sick.
we got a guy to talk about.
Right. Bob's
Yeah.
got a great Ohio Bobcat transfer
did.
on the edge. Yes. Quinshawn.
Scary that there's some split touch situation going.
Yeah,
it's
Travion
very
and
interesting.
him. I can't believe this guy left Ole Miss. Frankly, I don't get it.
I don't care.
I mean, it might be sick. It might be sick. Yeah.
I mean, Hank's right. Yeah.
Money all
But
the way.
I am
not being a
fascinated with
crab.
how this works out this year
your
between
crabs.
him and Travion.
Me too.
Yeah.
And Travion's really lost out there.
yeah.
He's the one who gets screwed.
Yeah.
So many great running backs. Can't wait to get into mine. I'm betting Ollie Gordon's a consensus, though.
Can I just?
Yes.
I have the exact same two as Hank.
Yeah.
At
Nice.
running back.
Oh, wow.
Nailed it.
Really original. Great.
Yeah.
No Donovan Edwards.
We did
for
these
you, huh?
blind. We made very sure we did.
I love my guy Donovan.
Yeah.
We can get to it though.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
No, you're right. You're right. Well,
I'm
let's
right.
stick to Frank's rankings. Who do you
Frankings.
have? Right, Frankings. Who do you have next, Frank?
Next, I have the receivers, who are Travis Hunter. Got real crazy there. Like, I went a little crazy with these ones. I'm not gonna lie. Travis Hunter, we know him, we love
This
him.
is crazy.
Tez Johnson from
Oh my
Oregon,
gosh.
which I know as
This is a great one.
he's
This
really
is a
really
great
good. He's
one.
really
This
good.
is
I
a
know
great
Jake's
one.
gonna hate the next one, but the
You're wrong for doing this, bro.
I know,
You're wrong.
I
Some real
included two
hater
buffs. I wanted
shit
to have
here.
some fun. This is the one I wanted.
Wow.
But Tez Johnson, let's hit that first. He's really good. He's really fast.
Little number 15.
He's I'm a little bit scared that Bo Nix is no longer running that offense.
Yes.
Dylan Gabriel, good, proven
Dylan
veteran
Gabriel.
quarterback. He's not Bo Nix. But also, I mean, this should just be the Tez Johnson show, right?
A lot of people are hyped on Evan Stewart, the Texas A&M
yeah.
transfer.
Okay.
5-star.
Yep, 5-star. Not a ton of yards with the Aggies prior to this season.
Because they
but
were a shit show.
there's a lot of hype. In fact, in my Devy leagues where you can draft one existing college guy, Evan Stewart was the Oregon wide receiver being drafted, not Tez Johnson. And Tez Johnson, boy, does he pop on that Oregon tape, which, of course, you've gotten into with Troy Franklin and Bo Nix.
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, you've got to be thinking that Tez Johnson's the better receiver of the two. Like after next year, when he's coming out in the draft, just his prospects. Here's, I guess, a better way to say it. I bet
would he exceed
gets
pick 102 that
exactly.
Troy
He's
Franklin
getting.
went to?
He's a top 100 pick, and Troy Franklin slipped out.
I would agree.
That's where I'm at. Although again, quarterback situation changes to some of those things. Dylan Gabriel, pretty good replacement.
Right.
Yeah, the final one here, Alec Aomanor. Hey,
He's
here was the
still
thinking.
at Stanford?
I believe so. Yeah, I think he is.
That's crazy. He's going to
yeah.
be great in the ACC next year.
I know. See, that's the thing. Playing easier defenses. We saw that game. And after what he did against Colorado, like, I think Travis Hunter is pretty crazy. And I was going through, and there is a lot of hype out there for him. And that's what kind of got me going. 1,000-yard receiver last year. big body.
Yeah.
I think that he's the kind of guy that Stanford's just going to feed and feed and feed and feed and feed. And we're talking about stats. I think he's going to put up some numbers.
This is wrong, bro.
I know. It hurts.
Big guy. Very big.
Yeah.
Why don't we just address why Jake wouldn't like this?
Because this was obviously the worst game of CU season last year. Or one of them, I guess. They didn't get blown out, but they gave up a 29-point lead. And Travis Hunter returns from having his kidney lacerated.
Sure does.
Puts up 150-some yards on offense.
Sure does.
And then allows a few catches to this guy, and all of a sudden he's an All-American. That's crazy.
I mean, it was 294 yards.
Yeah, he had 13 catches for
But
294.
I think beyond that,
99 of those
touchdowns.
came on a slant where Omari and Cooper fell down.
Yeah.
Travis was not guarding
I'm
him.
not saying anti-draft.
There was
but
a
then from there,
97-yard long in that one, for sure.
how about we move along and say after that, 146 yards against Washington. That's a good defense.
Yeah.
122 yards against Oregon State. That's another
Very
good defense.
On just 3 catches in that Oregon State game.
Exactly. Like, he's a big play threat. He obviously can give you volume and catches as well.
6'2", 210.
I know. Like, maybe more of a pro prospect. Like, you just wonder Stanford offense, what is the ceiling? But
It's a good name to
they're
throw
going
out
to feed
there.
him. They're going to feed him. I wanted to get weird.
It's a good name to
I wanted to
throw
get
out
weird.
there.
With that, ESPN put out their FPI, Football Power Index for college.
Hell yeah.
Stanford, Colorado was the second most improved team in the country year over year. Stanford was number 1.
I like it.
No shit.
Yeah. Troy
I like
Taylor's
it.
a great coach, bro.
No, I know. You've been
we
on
saw.
him from the start.
Yeah.
No,
You've been on him from the start.
Ask Todd about him. Zach State.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The guy's a
He
freak.
knows.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and you're a believer too as our FCS expert.
I'm a believer.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Well,
Travis at wide receiver. Did you go with Travis at wide receiver?
I did. I thought about not doing it, but he's amazing, man.
There's so many great wide receivers, and CU is so deep at wide receiver. I do think this year they'll have to be a smidge more selective in when and where to play Travis Hunter Jr. I just don't think he'll be like playing 90 snaps, like basically 90% of snaps on offense and defense next season, to where I just had to keep him out. But it was a hard
that's
call.
fair.
It was a hard call, man.
The chemistry that he and Shedeur have it's probably best on the team in terms of quarterback wide receiver chemistry.
Yeah.
And Travis is the type of guy where he only really needs like 7 targets in a game, and he can go off, completely change a game.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Maybe that is a heavy omission from mine. Our wide receivers are completely different.
I mean, there's
Really?
a lot of receivers. There's a lot of receivers in the world.
There are a lot. So I had one of them. I had Travis, but I've got 2 others. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into tight end, and then we'll take on the other side. And I think we'll have some overlap on O-line, but we'll get to Jake's and then start talking O-line and stuff.
Let's get into tight end. Oof. Have some fun with that.
I know.
Wow. Pause.
I know. Pause. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I think your comment last time telling me that you admire how I just like plow through any of those. Because I really do. I really
You
do.
do. I didn't-
That's the way to do it.
It's only
though.
because of Todd.
Right.
Todd
I've just-
rewired my brain.
I'm like my grandma taking me through like a museum in France. Like we're gonna ignore the nudity. We're gonna act mature. It's art, you know. Like we're not gonna treat it like anything else.
Yep. Art is naked people.
Yeah, that's so true, man.
Just the basis of the whole thing.
So true. Okay, get into your tight end, would you? Because I think you guys have the same tight end.
Here we go. My tight end, Colston Loveland. That to me is I was really disappointed when I watched him for the first time and found out that he wasn't going to be eligible for the draft last year.
No.
The
I
guy's
know.
a
He's
monster
good.
because he
He's
has
good.
everything.
Yeah, he's a beast,
He has
bro.
everything that you could ask for from that position. He's
Yep.
big, he's tall, he's long. Can't say that around Todd.
Does he have
And,
the blocking?
He's a
think he has
Michigan
the
tight
frame.
end, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
I thought we had more. Did you want to add
Yeah.
something on Loveland since he's your tight end
Yeah,
as well?
he's my tight end as well. Colston Loveland just clutch, makes great catches away from the body, great catch radius. And he can rip off chunks of yardage too. This is not like a guy that you just find in the flat or hit on a curl like 5 yards downfield. He is crossing across the field, running seams and all that stuff. So, and it's part of why I kind of didn't put Donovan on the list. And now that I think about it, I probably should have. But Michigan's passing game is going to be even worse this year than it was this last year.
Right. It was already conservative city last year.
Yeah.
And you went with Quinshawn.
Look,
You went an Ohio State back over Donnie Edwards, the man who's buried the Buckeyes the last 2.
you're making me feel really
games.
bad about myself, and I really want to change my pick now.
I'm just asking, just clarifying. You
I mean, Quinshawn Judkins is a beast. What else
he
can I say?
is. He'll carve you up real good, and we love that he left the lane train. Chase chiming in on the Toyota chat. Ole Miss was sick of paying him, and when he wanted a raise. I don't know. They paid out a lot of people this summer. I'd have a hard time believing that.
Sorry.
Did he say something again?
No.
Okay.
I got sent something that is very fitting to the conversations we just. I mean, if you want to read this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you should send that. You should send that.
If the producer comes back, he's gone for 20 minutes.
This is the honest. Like, people off air don't know about us right now. Is midway through the second segment, our producer just.
Oh, there we go. Now he's back. Hey, we got some stuff for you to do.
If I've been kind of, a little lollygag in here, it's because I wasn't quite sure what direction I could go, when I could expect Hank's graphic to be up, and so on and so forth. But great time to take a break. As you know, right now, as you can tell, I don't need to explain it to you. In this show this afternoon, this crew, we're choosing chill. We're choosing to have a chill mindset. We're not going to take ourselves too seriously. Why would we? We know that
we never do.
Even the NFL's going to be super wrong about half these guys. Why would we act like we're experts and we know just a couple of guys who love Troy Taylor? That's his name?
We do, yes.
Okay, there you go. And we're choosing chill. We're letting the mountains turn blue. We're going to have that mindset, baby. And Coors, what can you say about Coors? Nothing better when you want a refreshing, chill, cool beer right now. I mean, with this heat, you got to kind of have like a sixer ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
That'll chill you.
Yeah, that'll chill you out. And of course, they've got it down. You know what it is. They're Colorado through and through. You ask them for an All-American team, they would make sure that Shedeur and Travis are in there because they know ball and they know Colorado.
And chill.
Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And if you're choosing chill, we've got a chill baseline, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's up the chill and travel with DNVR.
Hell yeah.
This summer. First things first, a true draft potters, ball knowers, college football lovers trip. You go with Jakester and the Buffs crew up to Lincoln Takeover. What do they call it? Memorial Stadium?
Sure.
Yeah. They're going to cry about the memories that are made by us on this trip. You're going to an all-time college football mecca in our region.
Yep.
And you're going there to give them the old smackdown. Very hard to find places in Lincoln to stay on game days. Very hard to find tickets. DNVR's bundling it all up. Got some awesome events for you. And you get to hang out with the whole crew. As if that was enough, you're like, oh, I'm not a Buffs fan. I'm not a college football fan. Bang! Get your ass to Tampa with the Broncos beat. Yaya, Hankster, Zaxter, Toddster. The whole crew.
Tampaster.
Sorry?
We're going to Tampaster.
Yeah, Tampaster. I mean, if you like this podcast, you probably feel a little bit like a pirate, right?
Probably.
And we RIP the pirate, always and
Of
forever.
course.
Oh, so true.
Yeah, salute.
What a great person.
Salute. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing trip to Tampa. It's going to be an all-timer. Watch the old Buccaneers. I almost said the other version of their name, which I really love to say. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. Go check out thednvr.com. Our events tab has it all. And yeah, check it out.
There we go.
The Buccaneers.
There we go.
And then
Yep. Took me a second. I was able to figure
the
out where
Buckeyes the fuck eyes. I think
Of
that's
course, who
so
wouldn't?
good. That's so much fun.
Who wouldn't?
Okay, we're shifting gears and we're going to Jakester's All-American team.
All right.
Wait, not my lineman?
We totally skipped his lineman. Do it right now.
No, we'll touch,
There we go.
we'll touch
Go.
on him. We'll
You've
touch
just
on
been
him.
sitting there
We'll
nodding.
touch on him, yeah.
Will Campbell, LSU. Actually, my left tackle in the DNVR Madden League.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah, he was the guy who was talking about such a great combination of mobility and anchor, and then he's got those violent hips to just uproot D linemen and bury them.
Yep. 100% agree. I'll hit the tackles on the list first with the Kelvin Banks Jr. Texas tackle. I think that he was a freshman. No. That was like year 2. So freshman, he did play though. It was like a 5-star last year. Played again, improved.
Dominated.
Just seems like he's ready to do even more.
Yeah, protecting Quinn Ewers backside, blind side, so that's a big one. Backside too.
Other tackle on the
today.
list, Johnny Cornelius from Oregon. That's a big dude.
Johnny Cornelius sounds like a
Johnny.
character
Johnny.
out
Johnny.
of Beavis and Butthead. A Johnny though. Where'd he play on the line for the Ducks?
He's right tackle, or was last year. I'm not sure if he's
That's sick,
flipping.
that's sick.
But he was a transfer from Rhode Island. So very good at Rhode Island. Got there last year. Only all Pac-12 honorable mention. I thought that he would be better.
That's a good one.
Obviously, like big time at Rhode Island.
And then
senior this year.
Bama's center.
Bama's center.
Former
may have-
Washington.
Washington center.
We might have 3 different Bama interior alignment on our teams.
That
Wouldn't be surprised.
is pretty cool. Yeah, final
Fun
piece,
fact.
Donovan Jackson, Ohio State guard. Best guard in the draft.
Yep.
I think
He is a monster.
he is a monster.
Yep. I'm Heaven's Demon asking the real questions. Did Dre have too much coffee or energy drinks? Really what did it was the good times that were had off air pre-show.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm also drinking coffee, and that's really getting me churned up.
Because we got the Broncos show at 11 every day. And then that gets over at like noon. And so we sit in the office for a few hours.
Yeah.
And I saw you were in the meeting for like 2 hours and it looked awful. And then everything just came out.
Yeah. So I need some coffee to rev the old engine up.
The pre-show conversation was something.
Chase chiming in. That bus went hard after Cornelius. He's a good one. Again, some good old linemen in the pack. Or, oh my God.
Pack it in.
In
How
the
could you?
former Pac-12
How
schools.
could you?
I totally forgot it was a defunct
Yeah.
conference
It's
for
over.
a second.
It's over now.
Oh my God.
Pull up my team.
That's like when I think like, oh, I should call Grandpa, but Grandpa's not around.
Shedeur Sanders, of
That
course,
is
at
really
quarterback.
sad.
I already told you Quinshawn Judkins, Ollie Gordon.
Ollie
and-
Gordon the first.
I
Downgrade.
guess so.
Is that downgrade or an upgrade?
Hey, that's not me.
I don't even know.
That's not me. Wide receivers, Travis Hunter, already talked about him. He's a dog. Then I went with Teteroa, McMillan, and Luther Burden.
T-Mac.
These could be the top 3 wide receivers taken next April.
Yeah.
They are insane. Luther Burden, little smaller than 2 of them, but a rack machine. Teteroa McMillan is a monster at like
crazy.
6'4".
Yeah.
And then Travis Hunter is the best player in college football. Colston Loveland, already talked about him as well. So familiar.
Such a good receiver at tight end. He's really incredible. His ability to adjust his body and like adjust to the ball really stands out.
And then I went for Will Campbell, Calvin Banks at the tackle positions on the offensive line. We talked about them a lot a few weeks ago when we did early 2025 top 10s.
Wow.
Donovan Jackson, another monster at Ohio State who is just mean as hell. He just loves throwing people on the ground and burying them.
Big.
We had 4 of the same 5 on the offensive line.
Yep. Parker Brailsford, former Washington center, a little smaller, I guess, than some centers. Pretty compact is how I would describe him, but plays very square. Works well out in space, gets up to the second level well too. And then Tate Ratledge is a veteran at Georgia, plays right guard, I believe. And he, I think, was second team All-American last year. He's going to be one of the reasons why Georgia's going to be ferocious up front again. That is my All-American team.
An all-time stash for Ratledge, too. He's been playing right guard. Yeah, he's just a nasty, bad guy.
Yeah. Could have gone in the draft this year. Decided to come
Meant
back.
in the best of ways. Yeah. Rome, Georgia kid. They crank him. Yeah, they crank 'em.
Wow, they do.
When in Rome, it's different down
You're
there.
probably an
Rome,
offensive
Georgia.
line.
Yeah, exactly. And Andre Davis giving you props.
Thank
That's
you,
a nice
Andre.
list.
Wow, a Dre taking Jake's side.
That's right.
That's got to
That
stop.
never
right.
happened before.
I know better than that. I stick with the Andres.
Okay.
And the DeAndres. And the
You claim them all.
Russian Andres with an I at the end.
Yeah.
I claim them. as well.
Kovalenko.
Right. Andrews were a little more on the fence about. Let's go to mine, Yaya. So, where I differed, which is really all we need to get into right now. Ashton Genty over Quinshon Judkins, the Boise State running back. First off, by how much the coach at Boise State is complaining that big schools are trying to offer him money and tampering and trying to get after him, I think there's still a chance that you could see him be like the starting running back at a big blue blood before the season even starts.
Dane Brugler just posted a thing about him, I think yesterday or the day before.
He runs so low
He
to the
is
ground
sick.
because he is so short. He has such great vision. His burst is unbelievable. He honestly feels like more complete, like Maurice Jones-Drew, like that kind of running back. He was really outstanding. I think he'll dominate the Mount West. I think Boise's going to have a bounce back year, and he'll look really good.
Dane
For
Brugler
the
called him
Broncos.
a legit RB1 candidate for 2025.
I completely agree. I really think he is. He's that levels of special. So he's my 1G5 guy in here. I followed your lead on LB3 and T-Mac for my wide receivers. Travis was a tough one. He was atop my draft rankings when we did our rivaling top 10s for the 2025 draft a couple weeks ago.
I mean,
Wide receiver, though, is tough. And yet, I think that might be just the position where he sticks long term in his career. Next year, though, I don't know. And Isaiah Bond at Texas, the former Bama speedster.
Yep.
And he's a do-it-all kind of guy. I think he's going to replace Xavier Worthy and maybe outdo Xavier Worthy's production with Quinn Ewers and that O-line and that Sarkisian scheme. And I think Isaiah Bond is going to be one of the most explosive, dynamic, electric playmakers in the entire country and will be followed very closely. Loveland is the hot name at tight end, as is Oscar Delp, the 6'5", 245.
Another one at Georgia.
Georgia tight end. He was wearing number 4 last year, 284 yards, 3 touchdowns on just 24 receptions. Wow, does this guy move incredibly well for a tight end. Even a little bigger than Brock Bowers. I think he could just have a massive year for the Bulldogs. Be kind of the number 1 target for Carson Beck and that passing attack. You guys got to watch his highlights. He moves so fluidly. He looks so big. This guy's Kyle Pitts-esque type talent. He's really fantastic. I needed some Georgia Bulldogs in my first team All-American,
Yeah.
so we've got a little representation there. We're in agreement on Campbell and Banks. I think 2
And Donovan Jackson.
stud offensive
3 of the
tackle
5.
prospects. Jackson I like a lot. Look, left guard for Ohio State, a little sloppy. I'm glad he went back to school. He's such a big body. Those guys can be a little sloppy. He needs to fine-tune that shit. And honestly, I'd love him way more at right guard than I would at left guard.
Yes.
Let's maul some dudes instead of being more of a movement
Yes.
guard. And then you have Jaden Robertson. I don't understand why Tyler Booker, the left guard at Alabama, gets all the praise, because the right guard, Jaden Robertson, by the second half of the season when Alabama's O-line really transitioned and took their stuff to the next level, and it was Latham and Robertson on the right side just grinding people to death, This kid is so big and powerful and talented. I just can't believe he's not on more people's radars. Jaden Robertson, I think, will be a superstar for Alabama next year and is just a prototypical right guard. Unlike Donovan Jackson, I think a little leaner, still super strong and imposing, but not that sloppy movement and body you can get from Jackson that leaves me wanting for more. And then you guys know how much I love Jordan Morgan, the left tackle for Arizona. I'm going back to the Wildcats with Jonah Savanier, the right tackle for the Arizona Wildcats. This guy is a big 6'5", 330 plus, and he's a mauler, man. He just tosses people around. And for someone that powerful and big, he seems to really move effortlessly. You know, that's a bit more of a finesse front, right? So it's not a ton of hand in the ground. He moves really well, gets in space, gets his hand on a defender, and will just blow them over. I think the upside for him is massive in an offense that's led by T-Mac, Fafita, and should be one of the best offensive units in the country. I think Savinea could really do some big stuff for him. Watch the right tackle on Arizona's O-line, big number 71. So there you go. And Andre Davis saying, Jake, you got competition. So
wow.
Bang.
Dre's stick together.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Dre's do stick together. Yeah.
Dre's of a feather stick together.
Wow. Didn't expect that one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Chase with a nice little comment in the Toyota chat. Why do blue chip wide receivers go to UGA? They mostly throw to the tight ends and running backs. I mean, that's what happened with Adonai Mitchell, right? The kid has back-to-back games in the 2022 playoffs where he had touchdowns, but he wasn't getting enough touches. Transfers to Texas, becomes a superstar, and was a top 50 draft pick by the Colts.
Yep. I really don't know the answer to that question, but it is a weird kind of trend, I guess. But with Carson Beck, I think this is their best quarterback they've had in quite a while. So we should see. I wouldn't be surprised to see a wide receiver pop from there.
It's also year 2 removed from Todd Monken being the offensive coordinator. I always feel like year 1 stuff can still look a little bit like it did the year prior, and year 2 is where you really start to feel the imprint of the new OC. I'll be interested to see how, because Monken just had that perfect balance, and it was like, we'll grind you in the run game and then hit you on play action, and they were just always ahead of the sticks. So I'll be interested to see how that transition goes. I think there's we obviously hyped up this past 2024 draft, and offensively speaking, it was insane. I mean, you're talking about 11 of the top 15 picks are skill position players, 15 were all offensive players, 6 quarterbacks. I mean, there was a ton of talent. But I like a lot of what this class has to bring. You have an O-line class that's really good. Again, tons of talent at wide receiver. We might have an upgrade to where the running back position was last year. And even though, you were saying you felt a lot better about Caleb, Jaden Daniels, I don't know, Drake May, there's a lot of quarterbacks.
There are.
And they may not all be prototypical pro guys like Shedeur is, or like Quinn Ewers or Carson are. But there are other guys who are really good college quarterbacks who will be fun to follow all year. And some of those guys inevitably will pop and get themselves on our radars as NFL prospects.
This is just part of the NIL era of college football, where these guys like Dylan Gabriel, Bo Nix, for instance, stay around an extra year or two. Cam Ward was literally in the conversation to go into the NFL draft, decided to come back and go back to Miami. So there's quite a few guys. I'd throw Cam Ward in there, of course, Dylan Gabriel, I guess, and then
Fafita,
Milrow, of course, and then
I'm a big Riley Leonard
who's
guy.
the Riley Leonard, and then
Will
Howard. Thank you. Yes,
Will Howard. Yeah, I mean, look, I thought Ohio State is maybe overrating him, and the hype's a bit too much, but Will Howard's definitely an intriguing dual threat guy, and at Ohio State, he's going to have a Buka to throw to. That O-line's going to be really good. Those 2 running backs are outstanding, and Ryan Day, the pressure's on. Chase, I thought really long and hard about Torrey Horton. He was right there for me. It was him or Isaiah Bond. With Ewers coming back, with that offensive line being what it is, with Sarkisian, and I think how much is riding for that Texas offense year one in the SEC and how good I actually think they'll be, I gave the slightest edge to Isaiah Bond, whose upside I think he can be Xavier Worthy-esque in that same offense, if not exceed what he did. So that's why I gave him the slight edge. But Torrey firmly in the mix. It's just such a stacked wide receiver class. Mm-hmm. We could have done a flex returner position. And actually, Torrey might be my guy.
They do. I was just looking. The long snappers returning. Last year's All-American. Just when I was going through the whole list, because I was like, okay, you build one of these. Who are the returning All-Americans? Uh-huh. I was just kind of surprised. Yeah.
Who was the
I'd have to go
All-American
check.
long snap?
Sorry, I didn't keep that one at the top of mine.
A school?
Yeah, let me go check.
Well, no, don't you remember the school?
I didn't think we were going to be talking about this, but if you want to talk about the long, if you want to talk long snappers, I'll figure it out, Dre. I just didn't know you wanted to.
Okay. Usually we don't get to questions at the end of the show, but we have so many great comments. We need to hit
and
some
so
up.
much time.
Lamar 1107 saying, "I'd love to hear you guys say pause after stating some big guy is just blowing guys."
Big mistake.
With,
Pause.
You're right. Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
That was Dre who said it.
Yeah. No. I mean, I get excited about Jonah Savinea being able to just
to blow guys.
Pancake opposing defenders in the open field, or as I like to say, blow guys away at that size.
There we go.
I get
there
it.
we go.
I'm Heaven's Demon.
That's my guy.
How likely is it that a QB that's not Shedeur, Beck Ewers, comes out and blows everyone away? Gosh. I am Heaven's Demon in the Toyota chat. I think,
I love that name.
much like the great episode of The Office when Kevin they win the trivia. You know, it's the leftovers team, kind of the idiots of The Office, and they win the trivia. And after it, Kevin explains that a fluke in the sea is actually one of the most common fish of all. Right. So if you're looking for a fluke, you might just land it. That's how the NFL draft is. That's how college football is. And I think no matter what, a quarterback we didn't expect will rise up and make himself known. So I am Heaven's Demon in the Toyota chat. I think it's quite likely. I think it's quite likely that we get blown away by a quarterback prospect.
Some would say one will rise like Canes.
Canes indeed. Andre Davis explaining... Jake, my dude, cuz he let me know how to get college games out in Amsterdam.
I got you, Andre.
Phenomenal.
Yep. No, we know. Jake is the expert in how to watch football in Amsterdam.
Right. Thank God you grew up in Europe and you know all those things. I have no experience in that, sadly.
I think
know
how to
maneuver
maneuver
Europe
the internet is all.
He does. He knows ball, man. And then Lamar 1107.
You gotta read these.
I do. I'm trying to do that right now in real time. Talking about the quarterback from Miami.
Yes.
That's Cam Ward.
Yep. Cam Ward, yeah.
Quarterback at Syracuse.
That's the means of Ohio.
Who is that?
Quarterback at Syracuse, and even BFN, who's Phil Steele's.
Garrett Schrader.
They've got Kyle McCord now. That's where Kyle McCord went. He's at Syracuse.
Yes. There you go.
Wow.
Okay.
Great show.
The last one
Great show.
of ours, amazing. So good. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching. Big thank you to Yaya for manning the sticks. Leave us a thumbs up on the way out, and I can't wait to blow you all away with our defensive All-Americans next week. Right, so that'll be incredible. There you go. And have a great weekend and a lovely Friday. Bye.
Peace out.
We all silly like the mayor.